similar data type. Or we can say that array can be defined as a collection of elements of homogeneous data type. Homogeneous data type, it means similar data type. So here a specific element, so it is a collection of elements of homogeneous data type. So if we want to specific element, if we want to access specific element of an array, that can be accessed by the index. Now here within the array, our first element in an array is stored at 0th index. Now, before this, we will see the declaration of an array. Now, like the other variables, an array, it also needs to be declared. An array needs to be declared, and it is to be defined at the beginning only. So that what will happen? So that the computer will know what is the data type of an array, what is the size of an array. It means how many elements that an array will hold. So it will be understood by the computer. So therefore, it is necessary that in the beginning only we have to declare an array. So when we declare an array, at that time we will mention the data type of an array, then we write the array name, and within a square bracket we write size, at the last we write semicolon. So in this way we will declare an array. So this is our syntax. Now here the array name is declared like the other variable names, except here the size is mentioned within the array, and now the identifier rules are used by this array name. Now we will see one of the example for an array. Now for this, we consider that we have to declare the 50 element array. We have to declare a 50 element array of marks, and these marks of float data type. These marks are of float data type. So here data type is float. Now the array name is marks. So float marks. With this we have to mention its size. So its size, what is the size of our array? So I said that we have to declare an array which can hold 50 element, 50 values. So therefore the size of an array, it will be 50. Now within the square bracket we have to write 50, then at the last we have to write semicolon. So in this way we can declare an array. Now here we have to find out the amount of the storage required for an array. And for that purpose, we have the formula that we have to find out the total bytes required for an array. So for that purpose, we will use the size of the base type. It will be multiplied with size of an array. Now here we have taken one of the example, that is float marks of 50. Now here we have to find out the storage required for this variable, and for that purpose we will write the size of the base type. Size of base type, it means the size of float data type. So float data type requires the 4 bytes. So therefore we write here 4 bytes into size of an array. Now the size of an array is 50. So here size of an array is 50. So therefore we write into 50. So 4 bytes into 50, the total bytes will be required for this float marks of 50. It will be 200 bytes. So the total bytes required for the marks array, so it is 200 bytes. Here we will see how to initialize an array. Now before this we have seen that array declaration. Now here we have seen the array declaration. It means only we declare an array, but no values will be stored within an array. So we have to store the values within this array. So for that purpose, here we will define or we will initialize an array. So like the other variables, the array elements can be also initialized. So when the array is declared, or they can be initialized within the program. So we will see here the syntax of declaration, array declaration and initialization. When we have to declare an array, at the same time we have to initialize an array, then in that case we write data type, array name, within the square bracket size is equal to, within this brackets, curly brackets, here we write the value 0, comma value 1, up to the value n minus 1. So here bracket is closed and semicolon is written. So now we will see the example for the array declaration and initialization. So here we declare the two different variables, that is int numbers of 5. The 5 different values are stored over here, and the float marks of 5. Here again the 5 different values are stored. With this we write the curly bracket closed and we write semicolon. So in this way we can declare an array and initialize an array. Now when we initialize an array, now for this example we will see for this example that numbers of 5. So here, as we have seen, our first number is stored at 0th index, or this index is called as a subscript also. So this is 0th index. So at that time this first number 10 is stored at 0th index. Now with this we will write that numbers of 1 at first position of numbers array, we will store the next value, that is 12. Now the numbers at second position, we write the next value, that is 52. Like this the next value will be stored. So at numbers with third location, the next value will be stored, that is 19, and the last value it will be stored. Okay, so the last value will be stored at 4th index and the value is 5. So now again I repeat, here our first number or first value is stored at 0th index, and our last value is stored at size minus 1. So here size minus 1 index. So here size is 5. So 5 minus 1 it is 4. So last value is stored at 4th index. So in this way we have declared an array, we initialize an array. Now we will see that how to print these values. How to print these values programmatically. Now here we will write a program to print an array. So for that purpose, within the program we declare an array. Here array name is A and its size is 5. So now we will initialize these values. So here we will write A of 5 is equal to, we write some values like 10, 12, 52, 19, 5. So in this way we can store these values. Now after that we have to print these values. For therefore we write for loop I is equal to 0. So here I is not declared. So therefore we declare this variable int I is equal to 0 semicolon I is less than 5 I plus plus. So here our index starts with 0th index and last value is stored at fourth index. So here the value of the size of an array is 5. So therefore I is less than 5. Or with this you can write, other than this condition, you can write that you can write that you can write the condition I is less than equal to 4. So either this condition you can use or this condition you can use. So last one is I plus plus. So we have to increase this value from 0 to 4. So here you can see that here this numbers value, this numbers, it remains as it is. Only this value changes. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when this value changes, at the same time its corresponding value will also change. So the same thing we will use over here. So here within the for loop we will write printf. We have to print the data. So therefore we write %d and we write here /n. Then which value we have to print? We have to print the value of a array. Every time the value of this 0 to 4 it changes. So therefore we write here I. So a of I, bracket close, semicolon. So for loop is closed over here. So in this way we can store or we can print the array. Now when I is equal to 0, now this first value it is stored at a of 0, 0th index. This next value is stored at a of 1. The 52 is stored at a of 2. Next value is stored at a of 3. And last value is stored at a of 4. So in this way this value will be stored. Now for I is equal to 0, now we will hand run this program. Now what is meant by hand run? It means whatever the values are there, we have to write these values. So for that purpose I will write here that a of I, the value of I, and with this a of I and I. Now here we will write all these values. So here a of 0 is 10, a of 1 is 12, a of 2 is 52, a of 3 is 19, and a of 4 is 5. So all these are the values, and now we will run our program. Now we will run our program from this for loop. So initially the value of I is 0. Okay, I is equal to 0. So the value of I variable, it is 0. Now our condition is I is less than 5. So it means 0 is less than 5 and our condition is true. Our condition is true, so therefore it will come inside this for loop and it will print the value of a of I. Now what is the value of a of I? The value of I is 0. So a of 0. What is the value of a of 0? It is 10. So it will print here. Now your output will be, it will print here 10. Now after 10, it will again come here increment. Okay, increment, it means the value of I will be increased by 1. So the value of I is increased by 1. Now again it will check the condition I is less than 5. So it will check 1 is less than 5 and this condition is true. So here after condition true, it will come inside this for loop. So it will print the value of a of I. So a of I. So here the value of I is 1. So what is the value of a of 1? It is 12. So therefore here it will print within the output. This is the printf statement. So therefore it will print the value 12. Next, again after printing this, our control will come to the I plus plus. It means our value of I is incremented as 2 and then it will check the condition I is less than 5. It means it will check the condition that 2 is less than 5. Again, this condition is true, and if this condition is true, it will come inside this for loop, and here it will print the value of a of 2. Now a of 2 value is 52. So it will print this statement, that is 52. After this, again I plus plus is there. I plus plus, it means it will increment the value. So here we will increment the value as 2 plus 1, it is 3. Then we have to check the condition as per the above statements. So 3 is less than 5, it is true. And after that we will print this value. Okay, so here we will print the value of a of I. Now what is the a of I? The value of I is 3. So a of 3 is 19, and finally it will print the 19 on your screen. Now after this, again this will be printed, and now after this we will again increment the value of I. So now the value of I is 4. Again it will check the condition, 4 is less than 5, condition is true, and then a of 4 value is 5. Okay, the same sequence will happen over here. Now here it will print the a of 4 value, that is 5. After that, again it will increment the value. So here the value of I is 4, and it will increment by 1, that is 5. So again it will check the condition, 5 is less than 5. So here condition is false. Now when the condition is false, at that time our control, now this condition is false, and now at this time our control comes from here. When the condition is false, our control will goes to the outside of this for loop. So it will come to the next of this for loop statement, and it is gets here. So in this way we can run our program, and our output will be to print this data of an array. Now within this program we have to take the input from the user. It means whatever the array values are there, that we have to take from the user, and therefore we will write a program. And within this program, here we declare the variable I. This variable is required for the for loop. And the next is we declare this array. Now after this, the size of an array is 5. So therefore we print a message that enter 5 numbers. And these 5 numbers are taken from the user. So therefore we write for loop, because we have to take 5 values from the user. So therefore we write for I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. The condition will be the same, that I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and within this for loop we will write the scanf function. Now scanf function, it will be %d ampersand a of I, and then it will close this for loop. It means initially, as we have seen previously, that initially our value will be I is equal to 0, 0 is less than 5, condition is true, then it will come here, and it will first store the value of a of 0. Okay, it will take the value from user, and that value will be stored with a of 0. Again I plus plus, the I value is incremented, that is 1. 1 is less than 5, condition is true. It will take the value from the user, and it will be stored with a of I. Now the value of I is a of 1. Now in this way it will take the value from user up to the a of 4. So like this, it will take the 5 values from the user. Now after taking this value, we have seen that how to print the data. So therefore I will write printf the numbers of an array. So here to print the array elements, we will again write the for loop I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and within this we write the printf statement. This printf statement and slash n is used for new line, and now here we will print the value of a of I. So in this way we can take the values from the user. In this way, we can take the values from the user. Now within this for loop, we have to we will take the values from the user, and when we have to print the values, at that time we will use this for loop. So whatever will be the size of an array, so you have to just mention over here when the condition is there. So when you have the size of an array is 10, then in that case you have to write I is less than 10. Or here I is less than 10. Now this variable, it can be changed. Okay, you can take any variable. So here I have taken the I variable, you can take the another variable, but whatever will be the size of an array, if it is 10, you have to take the 10 values from the user. Then in that case, you will write this I is less than 10. So at both sides, you have to write the same values. Okay. So in this way, we can take the input from the user. Thank you.